Alright, so now let's move on to these hash ribbons, the minor capitulation and the Bitcoin capitulation that is to follow because these hash ribbons have crossed bearish. Now, I'm going to try and explain what all of this means to those of you who aren't so fundamentally inclined and don't understand the technicals behind all of this. And by technicals, I'm referring to the actual technology and not the technical analysis. So I'm going to try and keep this as brief as possible, and I'm going to be oversimplifying this. If you guys want a more detailed explanation, go ahead and check out my articles that I'm going to link down below that I wrote around 2 years ago now, where I explain. So in various articles, I explained proof of work using a very simple analogy, but will give you a very strong understanding of it. I explained mining difficulty, and I also explained hash rate. Okay, these are the three concepts that you need to understand. Now, what does this all mean? Okay, in a very brief and simple way. Essentially, Bitcoin is mined by people with high-powered computers. We call them miners. And to mine Bitcoin efficiently, they need to constantly increase the power that they use. Essentially, they need to increase their hash rate. Now, the Bitcoin network, the Bitcoin protocol will constantly adjust its difficulty, okay, the difficulty required to mine that Bitcoin in accordance to the average hash rate across all the miners. So as the miners are constantly trying to be more and more efficient, the Bitcoin network, the Bitcoin protocol will also adjust its difficulty for the miners to be able to actually attain that Bitcoin. But remember, the difficulty adjustment is in accordance to the average hash rate, the average hash rate across all the miners in the mining pool. So by default, there are going to be miners at the bottom end of that pool who aren't as efficient, who aren't optimizing their hardware, and as a result, they are forced out of the market. They are forced to sell all the Bitcoin that they have, sell their hardware, and simply exit the market. And that is the narrative that is being currently pushed. And the reason I use the word narrative, guys, is because that's all it is, in my opinion. That's all it is. Now, I'm not saying there's no credence to this. But you guys, as technical analysts who are trading a chart, shouldn't put that much weight on it. Why? Because you don't really need to, right? There are enough signs already just through technical analysis for you to take bearish positions, for you to be exiting your long trades, for you to be taking short positions. So the narrative is the miners are going to capitulate, all the weak, inefficient miners are going to be forced out of the market, they're going to sell their Bitcoin, and the price is going to dump all the way down to 5,000. So you better get rid of your Bitcoin as well. Sell it all now. Now, I'm not saying, I'm not here to give you guys financial advice, and I'm not saying that there's no credence to this minor capitulation, but basing your sells, okay, basing your trades purely off that is heavily misguided, because in my opinion, you'll be selling into heavy support over here, and we could very well see a bounce, and you could get a better sell opportunity. And to give you guys an example of why you should not, in my opinion, mix fundamental analysis and put it on the charts, all right? You shouldn't put fundamentals on the chart, is because it leads to far too much confusion, and you'll be fighting the technicals that's telling you that, hey, something is about to trend the other way. A very good example was during the 3K pump, okay, all the way over here. If you guys do remember, NVT was the big narrative back then. NVT, man, NVT is bearish. We're going to go down. We reached up to 4K, and NVT was screaming, sell. Even though we were trending up, all right? Even though Bitcoin was trending up slowly and gradually, trudging for the second time into this major resistance point, which, by the way, is a very bullish sign when you go slowly towards it. Even though we were doing that, he was like, NVT, man, NVT, we're going to go down. Boom, we pumped up to 5K. And then over here too, NVT is still flashing red, guys. NVT is still flashing red. Boom, another leg up, right? And then all of those guys disappeared. I don't see them anymore. Or either that, or they've gone really quiet, and they're bidding their time until that they can come in and say something like that again. Be like, hey man, I told you so. NVT. Yeah, let's ignore the fact that we pumped 3x, 4x, nearly 5x, right? Since your NVT told you to exit at 4K, by the way. So all I'm trying to say is keep it in mind but use your technical and analysis to get better exits, get better positions. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on that. If you guys do want me to dive deeper into minor capitulation and all of that, then let me know in the comments down below. I'm not sure if this current audience is interested in that kind of stuff. That being said, let's move on to ChainLink.